Well, that might be too bright, y'all. Let me see something. If I do this, doesn't really matter. I just want my face to be so. I had put on a light, but because we're getting a lot of clouds. But anyway, way ahead of myself here. Hi everyone, it's Leanne with Diamonds and Doxies, and I'm going to go ahead and start the live stream. Hopefully, people will show up. If not, welcome to the replay. So, anyway, if you're new, if you've never been to my channel before, it's a diamond painting channel. As you can see, I've got lots of diamond paintings all around. Anyway, and I usually do lives and whip and chats, some unboxings. But yeah, a lot of whip and chats, kit up and chats, those sorts of things. And anyway, today's Wednesday, so I like to go live on Wednesdays. But anyway, whatever, whether you're new or you are returning, I love all of you. So I'm so glad that you're here. If you are new, I hope that you would consider giving the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'd really love to see you here again. And if you're not new here, well then, hi, welcome back. I'm glad that you have come back. Um, I hope everyone is doing well. We're doing well here. It's very windy today, and but it keeps going in and out with the sun, so it can be cloudy and then it can also be sunny. So anyway, um, usually I schedule these lives in advance, and I didn't today, so I took a real risk of you know no one showing up, which you know it may be. I didn't give any warning, and I'm sorry about that. Here lately, it's just been, living by the seat of my pants. Um, but yeah, it's been a good week so far. I went and saw my dad yesterday with my sister Darla, so that was fun. It was her first time to see him since she was about 7, and she will be 70 this year. So that was a lot of fun, and I know it was for him too. I mean, he was there when she was born. Um, so yeah, so I think it was good for all involved. It was good for me too. I enjoyed it too. Had a great lunch with him and then sat out. He's got a beautiful backyard right on the golf course, so we sat out there, and weather's been just very nice for sitting outside. And yeah, we had a great time. And then today, I planned us a trip. I was trying to plan it for later in May, but that wasn't quite working out. And I think he was really wanting to go a little sooner, and which is fine. I'm open, to whatever. So I went ahead and found a place. I mean, because the towns that we're going to, populations are like 741, and the other one is maybe 961. Okay, so we're talking about teensy towns and not a lot of places to stay. And I don't want to get out there and find myself in the no-tell motel. I've done that, and it's not pleasant. And so I was like, well, I'd like to find something a little bit cleaner. So the closest town, which is, was like 20, 30 minutes away, which is fine with me. We were able to get a Holiday Inn Express. So, and I had plenty of points. And so I got us each a room, and I just used my points now to pay anything for it. So that's cool. But yeah, we're going to go check out the cemetery, where, he can tell me who all's buried there and who they are. And, hopefully I remember to take a note. I might even just record him, so I'll have something saved. And, yeah, and then that's his father's side of the family. And then on his mother's side, it's a different cemetery, but it's not very far away. So, yeah, I think we'll go over there, and I think it'll be fun. And he's got two cousins that are still living, but one lives a little bit further out, so we probably won't see her. But his other cousin lives close by and is in very ill health, and so he's going to call him and see if we can't meet up with him. I mean, I told him, I said, this may be your last chance to visit any of them. I mean, we all have expiration dates, and I don't know how old they are, but I know one of them is in ill health. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do this Sunday, this coming Sunday through Monday. So I'll miss Mia's live again. I need to let her know too. I didn't get a chance to let her know last Sunday because we went and ate lunch, did all that with Jacob after church, and then he came over and visited for a little bit, and then he left. I was like, okay, I still got plenty of time to go and watch Mia's live. Well, then Max's sister came over, and she hadn't been here well since we've moved in, but she hadn't been here since, I mean, we were in the midst of remodeling, so she hadn't seen anything really. So she came over, and it was good to see her. We sat and visited for 4 hours. I mean, it was a long time, but it was good, because we were just catching up. And so it was very nice to do so. So needless to say, I missed Mia's live though. So anyway, been doing that. So yeah, looks like I'll miss Mia's live two weeks in a row. And I hate that because she and I have some of the same subscribers, actually same friends. So I don't know that I would call them subscribers as much as friends. And so it's like you get to see them twice a week, here and then with her. So, but anyway, it is what it is. And I did just upload a Whip and Chat where I'm working on the May Flowers 2025 event that Mia is hosting with Anthony from Single and Placing. So if you haven't checked out those channels, you should go ahead and do so. It officially starts tomorrow, May 1st. That is tomorrow, right? Yeah, it's tomorrow. So, hey, Jackie, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's well with you. Yeah, so I am doing the May Flowers event, and I did, and then okay, so it came to my attention in the Whip and Chat to see this again. This is why I love, love, love for y'all to tell me, because I won't know. Like someone told me one time everything was out of focus. I was like, oh, well, that's terrible. And so I worked on that, and I think I fixed that. Well, then on this last Whip and Chat, I set everything up, set my camera up, made sure I was in the screen, in the frame or whatever. And apparently when I sat down, my hand must have moved or something. And you couldn't see, you couldn't see the part I was working on. You couldn't even see my hands doing it. And it's a long video. It's over an hour and a half. So, yeah, then it just looks like, you're just staring at a blank screen. And some people do watch. And even if even if I don't watch, I usually will work and then I'll glance up at the screen. And that would be, that's terrible. So I'm so glad someone told me. So guess what I'll do next time? Next time I will be extra careful and double check and make sure that I'm in frame. So I don't want to make that mistake again. So I'm always open to criticism, constructive criticism, Please don't tell me your nose is too big and your eyes are too small or any of that stuff. So, Jackie, it's just you and me, I think, girl. What are you up to? What's going on with you? How's the weather where you are? Windy and cloudy, then sunny, then cloudy, then sunny. But yeah, and are you doing the May Flowers 2025? I'm actually going to work on two kits. One that I had already decided I was going to do, but then I realized my flower shop ghost. It was like, let's got flowers, so I can do both. Then that's what I'm planning on doing. Because I still haven't finished flower shop ghosts. So, hey, Lily, what's going on with you, girl? Anything good and exciting? I'm going on a road trip on Sunday with my father to visit the family cemeteries. So I'm really looking forward to that. Really am. And I was thinking I would take notes, with a pen and paper, but I might actually video him telling me things, because I say video, I guess record is the correct word now. I think somewhere down the line, it might be kind of cool, to have his voice actually saying it. I think it might be cool for not just me, but for other people, even his, grandkids and stuff, that you know, he's got 2 grandsons that he's close with, and because he pretty much raised, that son. He really did raise that son. He was very instrumental in that, and, right now they're like, he's just another old man or whatever. But one day, and they don't know it, and I get it because I've been 21 and I've been 15. I get it. It's like, oh, you've been here for all my life. Where on earth are you possibly going? I'm going to go have a good time. And then one day that's gone. And, you're like, I can't even remember their voice. What did they sound like? So yeah, I think I will. I think I'll record him. I don't think he'd mind. I don't think he'd mind at all. So yes, Lily, I am so glad to. I think he really wants to go. It's funny because he's got a bad knee. And so he was going to get some shots in. And I said, well, you get to make your appointment, call today, which was this morning, and make your appointment to get the injections. That way, you won't be in as much pain and walking around the cemeteries and stuff. And so then he texted me this morning and he said, well, he goes, that doctor, I called to make an appointment and he's gone for the whole month of May. So I'm ready to go whenever you are. And so I called him. I was like, okay, well, I was thinking about, I think the 20th, the 20th and the 21st or something like that. And he was like, oh, I was thinking maybe tomorrow. It's like, oh. So I was like, well, I said, how about next week? So I looked at next week, but then he was like, yep, that'll work too. So, I mean, he's like me, he's got plenty of days open. And, so I went and looked, uh, hey, Linda, how are you doing today? Hi, Artie. You're just here for a few minutes. I understand. I know it's late there. I know it's late and you got to put Miss Sassy Pants to bed and you might just fall asleep too. But anyway, then I looked at the weather report and I was like, oh no, both of those days it's supposed to rain 50% on each day. And I was like, we could always throw on a raincoat or an umbrella. That's not the problem. I just don't want to drive in rain. So Sunday and Monday are going to be sunny. So that's when we're going. You're going to party? Who parties on a Wednesday night? We're too old for that, Artie. We're too old for that. Jackie says it's 70 and sunny here in southeastern Ohio. Sounds like perfect weather to me. That's hallelujah weather right there. That's awesome. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now I'm curious as to what Artie's out doing. Do you believe she's going to go out and partay? I don't know. I don't know what temperature it is. I would say it's probably 74, 75, maybe 76. It feels a little cooler when the clouds come in, but the wind, makes it a little cooler too. It's a holiday here. National Day is tomorrow, and tonight is Valborg. I know I didn't say that right. Okay, so it's a party holiday. What's it? I mean, what is it? I mean, like I know what New Year's is, I know what Easter's is. Um, but I mean, what kind of holiday is it? Is it like a National Independence Day or what? What is going on in Sweden? But well, y'all have fun. Do you get a babysitter or y'all taking Miss Priss? Valborg, it's Walpurgis Day. Okay, well, so maybe I shouldn't have asked. Maybe I should just Google because I don't know. I don't know what that is either. Walpurgis sounds like an animal, like a wallaby or something. Jackie says, sounds like your dad is ready to make up for lost time. Love that. I do too. I mean, he really loves to talk about, when he was growing up, just different things. I remember my grandmother, I mean, because and we will all do it if we're lucky, Um, at some point in your life, all you have really are memories, it's just a bunch of memories. And, maybe it's good for him to be able to say it without going, Yes, I know I've heard that story 1,000 times. And I never said that to my grandmother. I never did because I knew that it was cathartic to her. She enjoyed talking about it. And I get that because even now, I mean, I do. It is kind of fun to reminisce, to go, well, I remember when, there was nothing over there and we would go here and this is the way that was. And the kids just kind of look at us like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, and you just give yourself a few more years. Let's see. Artemis, Miss Priss is here baptizing stuff in the lake. How's your dad doing? Baptizing stuff in the lake. So y'all aren't home. Are y'all home? Are y'all like out in a boat? He's doing great. He's doing great. We're leaving on Sunday for a road trip. Oh, you are at home. Okay. Well, I'm glad she's baptizing stuff. Yeah, she needs to do that. There needs to be a lot of baptism going on. Yeah, we're going on a road trip Sunday and Monday, so I'm excited about it. And yeah, but he's doing well. He's so funny because he'll, talk about, no, I'm in wonderful health. I'm in great health. And then, well, my aneurysm hasn't gotten any, he's told me my aneurysm hasn't gotten any bigger. So they're not worried about it. He goes, it's gotten longer, but it hasn't gotten bigger. And I'm like, longer, bigger. So, and then, he's got a tumor on his optic nerve on his only eye. So, you know, so yeah, I'm hoping it'll be good for him. I hope so. I got to tell you something funny though. He gets home health, I think, I don't know, a couple of times a month or something. I don't know. And of course, if you ask him, he doesn't need it. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't need it, but it's kind of nice to have someone to come over and visit. I'm like, okay. And well, they had a new one come out. She's an RN to take all of his vitals and stuff like that. And I guess because you have to get pre-approved every year or every 6 months or something for Medicare. And so she came over and she asked him, do you live here alone? And of course he said, yes, I do, which gets quite lonely sometime. And since my wife died. And she said, well, have you thought about, finding, getting you a new woman? And he said, well, yeah, I have. He said, but I got criteria. She has to be between menopause and Medicare. And she said, well, I'm 66. He said, well, you'll do. You just cut right in underneath my cutoff. She's married, by the way, and her husband's 15 years her junior. So anyway, but I was like, oh, yeah, I think it's probably harder for men to be alone than women. Um, one of his good friends, his wife passed away. I mean, they were married forever, and she passed away. And within a year, he was remarried. So someone he knew from church, and but it's about companionship, somebody to go do things with, somebody to go eat lunch with, or eat dinner with, or just talk to, and but I think it's harder for men because I can remember, we'd go out to eat or something, and there'd be an old man in there, and he would just be, talking to the waitresses, just anybody looked, made any kind of eye contact, and they'd start talking to whoever, and I was like, they're lonely, they're lonely. They want to talk to somebody. So I don't know, but yeah. So let's see what else is going on. Did anybody get the mystery kits? Anybody get a mystery kit from Diamond Art Club? I did not. I did not. I'm still I did not do a no buy. I did buy two, but I can only remember one of the cottages that Diamond Art Club came out with, the new ones. And it was but it says on there that they're pre-orders. I think it said they would ship April 21st to the 28th. Well, today's the 30th, and I hadn't heard anything because they've been held up in customs. So I figure if I don't get it, if they have to cancel my order, that's fine. And it's again, it's going to be okay. I'm going to survive. So, I mean, we could have this trade war going on for I don't know 50 years, I think, and I'd be dead and I'd still have diamond paintings left over. But I know that's not true for everybody, especially, I don't want anybody to go out of business. I don't care if you're a small business or you're a corporation, because both are very important to our economy. So, yeah. Jackie did not get anything. Yeah, I didn't even go look to see what they were, honestly, because I was like, I don't need another one. Stop, Maggie. She barks for no reason. I think it's a dachshund thing. Oh, well, I mean, I got 3 of them, but she'll get them going though. She'll bark, and then usually Snoopy then will. Well, he's right here. He did get up. Um, he'll start barking. She just likes to get everybody going, and then comes back and lays down. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, I don't want anybody to go out of business. I don't want anybody. I would like to see, excuse me, some of this stuff get produced here. Um, you know, I just don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would also save on transportation costs and stuff. I mean, you got to ship that stuff over by sea. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. It means nothing. Let's see. Jackie, our dogs just did the same. Oh no, they heard Maggie. I'm telling you, she's an instigator. Hi, Dari. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. Dari's new here. So, hello. How are you doing? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Oh, Jackie says, and I have earbuds in, so they didn't hear yours. Oh, well, okay. Well, they got pretty good hearing. So maybe they did. I don't know. Dari, if you missed it, we're talking about my silly dog barks to get other dogs barking, but maybe it wasn't Jackie B. I don't know. Dari says she's doing okay, and I have a Chihuahua. Oh, how cool! What is it, boy or girl? What's its name? We got to know the things, all the things. I've got 3 dachshunds, 3 PETA dachshunds. So yeah, I'd like to know what kind. How old's your Chihuahua? What's their name? How old are they? And do you have just one? I thought they were like dachshunds. You had to have at least 2. Max keeps saying we need a 4th one, and I'm like, dude, no. I mean, he says that because, well, he doesn't feed them. I do. And they guess who they sleep with? Me, all on top of me. So, and I told him, I said, well, while I'm gone on Sunday night, first of all, I'm going to have a king size bed to myself. And if you think for a second I'm not going to be just going whoop, 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 whoop all around in that bed, you're wrong, because I am going to love it. I'm going to spread out and do snow angels or bed angels or something. And I was like, you're going to have 3 dogs where you can't roll over. And you're going to have to feed these heathens. So he said he tried to feed them yesterday because I was gone to my dad's. And he said, Snoopy and Gus started fighting. So I just stopped. I was like, okay, they weren't fighting. They were trying to one up each other. And all you got to do is say, stop. And they stop. So Champ is a spoiled boy. His name is Champ. He thinks he owns me instead of me owning him. Well, Dari, honey, I hate to break the news to you, but he is right. He is right. I know I like to think I'm the alpha around here. I am not. No. Well, and why have them if you're not going to spoil them? Their little lives are so short, and compared to ours, so mine are spoiled too. I mean, I wish they would behave a little bit better, but I do have my little dog, bad dog spray bottle. I need to get a bunch more of those and have them in every room. That does seem to help. But, but yeah, what a sweetie patootie. Champ. He says, "I'm a champ." That's so cute. I love that name. I don't think I've ever seen a Chihuahua named Champ. I like that. I like that. You give him a little T-shirt that says Champ on it. So anyway, um, what else has been going on? I feel like so much stuff has been going on, but yet I don't know. Dari says, "I love my rotten boy. He's black and white." Well, good. Because who spoils them? If they're spoiled, if they misbehave, all we have to do is look in the mirror and go, bad human. Bad human. Because I'm terrible about consistency. I'm just terrible about it. So that's a me problem. I'm glad you love him. He's black and white. Is he long hair or short hair? Black and white. I do love them. I have a friend who has a Chiweenie, so it's a half weenie dog, half Chihuahua. An attitude, ooh, attitude. Short hair, cool. He sounds darling. He sounds darling. Oh, I was thirsty. Okay, so try not to bore y'all to death. Okay, we talked about Diamond Art Club. I have not even looked at anyone else's websites. So I have no idea. I do occasionally get emails. I don't know if Jade is holding off on putting out new releases. I don't know. I think it's all, up in the air. I've bought stuff from Amazon, and it hasn't gone up in price. Um, I I recently but although I think most of the clothes I bought were made in like Bangladesh or Vietnam or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. But I did just buy a purse that was made in China, and it didn't have it didn't have any, wasn't expensive. I mean, because I asked my sister, I bought one like my sister's. I asked her where she got it from. She told me, she said it was like $27. She sent me the link. It was $27. Max is home, so that's why they're going to start marking now. Yes, Daria, I did see that. Diamond Art Club is changing extra fees. I looked for them. They talked about possibly moving manufacturers to, was it was it Czechoslovakia? Oh, is that right? I don't know. If they needed to. And I think they will probably need to. I don't know. I mean, people are posting stuff that they had in their Temu cart or whatever. And I never I never got into Temu or AliExpress because I knew they did a lot of knockoffs, and a lot of stolen artwork and stuff. And so I was just like, I did buy something once from Temu. I don't know that I ever bought from AliExpress, but I'd heard too many people like in AliExpress go, "Well, I ordered this, I received this," but they wouldn't, let me return it or refund me my money or send the right ones or anything. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. You only paid $3, but you might as well taken that $3 and, let it on fire. So yeah, I'd rather not do that. So let's see. Lily's back. Hey, it's hot here. Went and picked up ice cream and fries from Freddy's. I love me some Freddy's. Love, love, love. Yum, yum, yum. That's my favorite fast food hamburger. And they've got an excellent chili cheese dog. They got an excellent hot dog. They got an excellent chicken sandwich, fish sandwich. So yeah. Timu is mailing from local warehouses. Okay. Well, I know people were showing their carts and, they'd have like $106 worth of stuff, which is a lot of stuff from Temu, if you ask me. And it was like a $300 surcharge. So I don't know. I'm like, let's see. Jackie says she bought a Muka from Diamond Art Shop. I have a Muka from them too. And they are in Florida and they do have some items in stock. That's good. Yeah, Diamond Art Club has some items in stock. Although I think they're adding the tariffs onto everything. And I think it's just to make their life easier. Instead of charging $20 for the new stuff, just charge everybody $5 each, for whatever. So I have a Muka from Diamond Art Shop too. I haven't worked on it, so I can't say anything about it. But it's I don't know the name of it, but maybe something like the Lady in Blue or something. She's all blue. Or mostly blue. So yeah. I mean, I'm not saying eventually it won't trickle down to everyone, but you know, I mean, we can't just start opening up factories. I mean, you have to build the equipment, you have to, train people. I mean, none of this happens overnight, it's got takes time. Fan Cells is a nice place to order from, Derry says. Am I saying that right? Derry or Dari? Which one is it? It's not Derry, it's Dari. I've heard of Fan Cells. I have not bought anything from them. Mindy from Mindy's Diamond Moments and Diamond Moment and Crafts or something like that. I know she does a lot of fan cells. But I have not yet. Not yet. Jackie, it will be my first canvas from them, so I'm curious. I'm curious too. It should be here tomorrow. I would really like to hear your thoughts on that. I really would, because I don't know either. And so, yeah. Lily, key lime concrete is the best. I've not had that. I am more of a caramel anything. Sign me up for anything caramel. Um, and then Max likes their orange frost, orange cream frost or something like that. So it's Dari, right? Right, Dari? Not dairy, not like cheese or anything like that. Oh, I tell you what. Well, I'll have to try the key lime. I do love key lime pie, a good one. It's kind of hard to find that around here. I mean, there are places you can find them, but not everybody. Not every key lime pie is created equal. So anyway, what else? Well, now that spring is here, I'm starting to see things flower that I hadn't seen flower before. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm like, oh, I've got Easter lilies. I had no idea I had Easter lilies. So yeah, I am starting to find flowers. I'm like, oh, look at this. This is putting off a flower. Yay. Silly things. Fan cells, Dari says Fan Cells also has needlepoint and paint by numbers and diamond paintings. I want to learn to needlepoint. I don't know who offers classes for that. I mean, like our library has all kinds of different classes for stuff, but nothing like that. They've got drums, they've got poetry, they've got some kind of chess. They got chess once a week. I mean, they've got all these different things, and it's like none of them are, craft related. And I've actually thought about maybe try to get a diamond painting group, because there is someone that will pop in occasionally, and she lives in the same town I do. So I know there are others here, but I'm just not good at organizing things. I would help if somebody was like, "Well, I'll organize." I'd be like, "I'll bring supplies." I'll do all of the things. You just set it up, and I'll show up with everything. Lily says key lime is only in summer. I need to check that out. Dari, you can look online to show how to do needlepoint. I have tried that with crochet. I've tried that with knitting. I've tried that with embroidery. And I almost need someone to sit on top of me to go, no, 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 yes, no, yes, no. because I can't like stop and go, "Excuse me, what do you mean?" Because sometimes this head is thick. It is thick, and it once it gets in, it's there and it's not going anywhere. But sometimes to get things in, it's like, oh no. Yeah. Jackie says maybe you can find someone on YouTube to instruct you. Yeah, maybe if I could find like a whip and chat for like needlepoint, that I could just sit there while they're talking and watch every hand move. Because when I started diamond painting, I did look at, a how-to video or a couple of how-to videos because when I got the kit and I was like, what am I supposed to do now? And it was just one of those cheap kits, so it didn't really have any instructions. And so I did. And then I started watching because I would see people post pictures of their completed canvases. And I'm like, your drill placement don't look nothing like mine. So then I started watching creators, and I was like, okay, I see here. I see how you're holding your hand. I see, I can see that now. So, yeah, I bet if they have something like that, I could. Lily said, oh, wait, you go back up, back up. Jackie said, you can relate to that. I do better. I do so much better in person. So I can interrupt you and say, explain that to me again. Show me here. Okay, here, take mine now. Show me. Okay. All right. Let me do it. And you tell me if I'm doing it right. So yeah. Let's see. Lily, I want a gift card on Rich's Live Saturday night to Jade. So I ordered my first cross stitch conversion. Girl, you are brave. I'm glad you won. You win a lot of stuff, Lily. You sure do. That's awesome. That is so awesome. So did you get one of the mini ones or did you actually go all in and get the big Mambo ones? Oh, Mia's here. Hey, Mia. Was busy watching your whip and chat. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm sure your ears were burning because I was talking about you at the beginning, how I missed you this past Sunday and how I'll miss you this coming Sunday because me and my father are going on a little road trip, going to the family cemetery up close to Dallas. So I'll be gone on Sunday and I won't be back till Monday. So I'll miss that. I'm sorry. Everybody saying hi to Mia. Mia saying hi to others. So, yeah. So, Lily, which kit did you get? Mia says, that's nice. Well, thank you. I am very excited about it. I really am. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Dari says, I want a Josephine Wall diamond painting. Okay, everyone. Obviously, things have changed. Today is no longer Wednesday. There's that light. Today is no longer Wednesday, and today is Thursday. And let me tell you what happened. So, I don't like where my live left off. I'm not sure what else was being said after that. Because and next thing I know, I saw a thing that said you've been disconnected or whatever. And then I went on my phone and I went to my channel to see the live and it was just the circle of death on a black screen. That's what everybody else had. So people started dropping off and I kept, we chatted a little bit in the comments, but there was nothing I could do. So we went ahead, or I made the decision to go ahead and end it because, I mean, who wants to just look at a blank screen? So anyway, but I did say I set that live to private because I didn't want anybody watching it. It just drops you off in the middle of nowhere, as you can clearly see. So this is part 2. And it's not going to be the same kind of live. I'm actually recording this because I didn't want to leave anybody hanging. And I don't know what all was said after my last statement. And I've slept since then, right? And I've eaten since then. So anyway, and I'm sorry that happened. And I don't know why it happened. I don't know if it was my internet, if it was YouTube, what it was. I mean, I was able to go to YouTube on my phone and it was on my channel that it was just a black screen with the little circle of death. So I think it was probably YouTube. but I don't know, it's technology, so who knows? But anyway, so I did wanna do a follow-up because I know a lot of people, well, I mean, not a lot, but some of you, a couple of you probably, would like to see the replay of the live, but I didn't wanna put it out there with it just the way it is without any kind of, explanation or anything like that. So, I'm truly sorry that it ended up being such a short live, um, and that I know more was said, but I don't know what happened, I don't know what happened. Um, but I did give you a lot of information at the beginning before people started coming in, and all of that is still true. Still leaving on Sunday, be back on Monday. Uh, yeah, Mother's Day is a week from this Sunday. So, yeah, I got a couple of busy Sundays. Well, I've actually had 2 busy Sundays already. So, anyway, that's all good. I mean, it's fine. It's fine too. Only thing is I always miss Mia's live, and I hate that. Um, but anyway, yeah, I think that's all I got to say. I think everything else was covered. Nothing new has happened to me since yesterday. No, I don't think so. Did some work out on the patio, moved some plants around, watered, let Maggie play in the water hose. She hates taking a bath, but she loves, trying to eat the water as it comes out of the hose. So that was cute and that was sweet. And that's it. That's all I got. I think here in a minute I'm gonna go, if I remember once I get downstairs, to make some sourdough English muffins and maybe fix like, I don't know, ham and egg and cheese McMuffin for dinner. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with. So anyway, y'all, thank you so much. I hope you understand that it was totally out of my control, and I know you do, and so I appreciate you understanding that. I really do. And yes, so hopefully next Wednesday will be a lot better, and I'm gonna try to get another whip and chat out this weekend, so tomorrow or Saturday, definitely not Sunday. So, anyway, I love y'all, and again, thank you, and if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you did. Doesn't cost anything, it's not a membership, it's just you subscribe so you get to see me when I go live next time. We also had a new person, Dari, and so I hope I didn't get a chance to ask her to subscribe. So if you're watching, Dari, I hope that you consider doing that. And anyway, all right, everyone, I will talk to you later. All righty. Bye. Bye. Mwah.